is that this is turning out to be a bigger lead than even most people imagine. Manishankar Iyer is calling it a tsunami. It's probably not a tsunami, but it certainly is a wave. And it is a wave which at one level, he's got a point, is not just taking from the Congress now, but he is taking BJP voters as well. He could not be winning this kind of a lead without taking some BJP votes as well.
And in fact, those of us who are sticking our neck out and saying that the AAP has an advantage are in fact surprised by the magnitude of the results. And we were clearly saying that the middle class or the richer or posher colonies are still thinking, but I think there has been a signaling from the urban periphery and from the margins. It's the city that's decided for itself. It's a united vote across the town now. I see what I saw as little dots around the map of Delhi. I can see there is a center. It's New Delhi indeed that's going Kejriwal's way, and that could be trouble for the BJP. It's not just a secretariat, which if you remember is somewhere along the banks of the Ganges, but you know, the Raisina Hills, the New Delhi constituency being taken by Arvind Kejriwal, and that I think something knocking at the doors of the BJP and the government that rules and nothing.
I'm going to go for a moment to Aman Sinha of the BJP. Aman Sinha, since you know here we've got Seshadri Chari in our studio saying it's a wake-up call, particularly from the state BJP leadership. Will you concede that the biggest mistake you made was that you should have held this election in July, August, when the Narendra Modi wave was at its peak? You waited for too long, and your state unit clearly was dependent entirely on Mr. Modi and Amit Shah to produce a rabbit out of the hat. And it's not every day that you produce rabbits.
Rajdeep, these are initial trends, mostly first round.
No, these are not initial trends. I'm going to. These are no longer. It's a sweep. It's 38-9. For God's sake, don't say initial trends anymore.
No, please. You are in. No, but these trends are initial. The trends are pointing towards Aam Aadmi Party. I concede that, but they are still initial trends at the same time. Now, let me say, Rajdeep, that as far as the question of conducting elections, etc., is concerned,
yes,
the constitutional scheme envisages that there should be reasonable opportunity given for formation, for government formation, and that is what perhaps LG, relied upon and went towards that direction. And that is not a question which, which is politically BJP has to respond to. It was for LG to decide as to when he would, how much time he would attain or give with regard to,
come on, Aman Sinha. The BJP wanted, they could have held this election in August. Why did you, would you concede? It's time now for the BJP to be a little contrite today. Let's not, why don't you accept
but
you made blunders?
In that case, you should be commending BJP because BJP does not take political view of all the things. If constitutional scheme envisages that reasonable opportunity should be given for government formation after any election, we are willing to go with that.
Okay.
Our political priorities don't take precedence over the constitutional scheme of the country.
Okay, so you're saying it wasn't a mistake necessarily to delay the election till February, but it's time to concede. Do you concede that maybe you were better off having this election in July, August, or were you hoping that the AAP would break? There were these reports that the AAP would break, you would form a government. Narendra Modi did not allow that, to his credit, and now 6 months later you're paying a price because AAP prepared for itself, and your Delhi state BJP leadership, as you admitted on your program, was relying on Narendra Modi and Amit Shah to pull a rabbit out of the hat.
Absolutely. No, I would still say
yes,
that there was an opportunity for the BJP to go in for a quick election at that time.
Yes.
But the BJP thought that it would not be very proper because instead of having an election, there was of course a situation within the Aam Aadmi Party that they were ready to break. I would rather go ahead and say,
yes,
Mr. Manishankar Iyer may not like it and he will even deny it.
Yes.
But there was also a report that some of the Congress MLAs were preparing to quit the Congress and join the BJP. But we did not want it at that time for whatever reason it was. I am not privy to the reason.
One reason,
but
yes, quickly.
One reason may have been that all these were lies. They were not true.
No,
they were not really. There may have been reports.
Joined the party.
But I don't. I think if the BJP was counting on that, they were counting on something that was not going to happen.
Can I come back to the results? Can I come back? Just a minute, sir. So let me come back to the results, because what we are seeing, Manisha, at the moment is that clearly Trans Yamuna is a sweep.
Yeah.
Once you're entering eastern Delhi, those parts of Delhi, and now you're seeing those numbers, Surjit, lower income areas now 20 to AAP, 4 to BJP. Wherever there are large jhuggi jhopdis, unauthorized colonies, the BJP is, the AAP is sweeping those colonies. So it's high income and low income. What's the explanation, Manisha?
I mean, the master plan of Delhi has failed. It's not just the Congress, that the Congress had a traditional kind of politics towards Delhi. Keep people dangling in on those unauthorized colonies. Tell them we'll give you something in the name of Indira Gandhi. Tell them we'll give you something in the name of Sanjay Gandhi, and take about 20 years to regularize. And what does regularization mean? It means we'll give you water in 20 years. We'll give you the right to, literally take your sewer away in 20 years. That kind of traditional politics led by Sajjan Kumar and his son definitely comes to a halt for the city. The city asserts a certain humanity to all its citizens. To a certain extent, AAP has led that campaign and held that together, and that's the confidence that the poor have reposed back in them.
No, can I take this further? This whole issue of a class divide. Is there a class divide, Surjit? You then Chetan?
I am sorry to disagree publicly with Manisha, but I just think we need to, as analysts, let's take it for granted, no more caveats if the trends hold. Okay, assume now. I think the important task is what happened. I don't think it's the regularization of the colonies, etc. Look, if you look at the census data, 96% of Delhi is permanent housing. Okay, where do we get this regularization? 11% of Delhi is classified as slums. So let's
all of them have problems.
From this,
all of them have problems, and the
everybody
Delhi
has problems.
Then why does the
Manisha, let me finish. Manisha, let me just
the Congress and the BJP both dangled the carrot of regularization?
No, but AAP has done the same. I'll tell you one thing.
Just a minute,
we have been bashing the BJP, and maybe they have no choice but to listen today. But one thing, AAP has made over-promised agenda, which because Arvind has a high credibility, people in Delhi, upper, lower, they believe him that he's going to do it. He will not be able to do it. There will be dissonance. And one thing you got to give it to the BJP, they didn't fall into the free trap.
So you believe actually that AAP has practiced the politics of what you would call populism?
Yeah, 5 lakh slums will be made into permanent houses. Okay, if you do that, won't 5 lakh people more come to Delhi and settle in slums? It's not going to happen. It's not. You wait and see. We are talking of their victory today. What they do in power is a separate discussion.
Just a minute. I've got Meera Sanyal of AAP joining me, because that's an important point to take to you, Meera, that the AAP has overpromised. You promise free power, or you promise 50% subsidy in power, you promise 700 litres of free water, you promise 5 lakh pakka houses to slum dwellers. These promises are going to have to be met, otherwise disillusionment will set in. So is the AAP now playing for the short term? You've compromised the long term. First of all, congratulations.
I think that depends on your perspective, Rajdeep. I think it depends on your perspective. As you know, our manifesto was drawn up based on the Delhi dialogue, and a lot of homework has gone into it. So we're quite confident that what we've promised, we will deliver over a 5-year period.
But there is something merit in what Chetan is saying. Have you overpromised? There's one thing to make promises, to have a Delhi dialogue. Have you overpromised? And as I said, I want to congratulate you, because I think you should smile. It's it is for the Aam Aadmi Party an important moment in their political rise. So first, congratulations. But have you overpromised?
No, I don't believe we have, Rajdeep. As I said, I was very closely associated with the Delhi dialogue. We've looked at each of the things we've said. For example, 20 colleges. We've gone into detail. We've said, where can these be set up? We've had preliminary discussions with the villages where they are intended to be set up. We've talked of things that we believe we can deliver and which are within the remit of the Delhi government to do. And I think that is a very, very significant thing. For example, one of the things we have talked about is the community LAD funds. Now that is something which has been very, very well received by resident welfare associations, because otherwise you find a very big amount of money just being squandered and nobody really knows where it's going. If communities can take charge of those funds and they can deliver to themselves what they need, then that is very much in line with the 74th Amendment, with the Nagar Raj bill, with our own concept of Swaraj. Right. So, one of the things that I think is important to note is that while BJP is of course yelling away that this is a populist budget, and a lot of people are saying that, please note that our vote share is coming across all sections of society where they believe that what we have said we can deliver.
That's an interesting point you're making, but the fact is, do you believe that they've overpromised? Is there a sense?
Every party does that. Every party, Mr. Modi promised to make India a superpower in 5 years. That's not the point. The point is the credibility of it, and the great thing is actually the Indian voter. More and more people you meet, the poor the middle class always had a sense of empowerment. They say, "Agar nahi karega, to badal denge." You know that thing.
So
that
maybe AAP is only
here.
a 5-year phenomenon.
No,
Last time,
but today they're just coming to power. We can't be saying that 5 years from now what we are discussing today.
No, but they have overpromised.
No, but you know, and the other thing is that the robust common sense of the common man in India, which is what keeps democracy alive, not you and me, is that.
I'm a common man, come on.
No, I mean...
No, we are all Aam Admis today. Today we are all... let's be honest, the robust sense of the common man...
No, man on the street who's the so-called, you know, non-political pandit, illiterate villager, illiterate, they are very, very... they understand their power. And if you perform, they reward you. I mean, for all the rubbishing that's going on in Congress, Sheila Dikshit was very good, did a lot for Delhi, and therefore she got 2-3 terms.
And on the other hand, the BJP's MCD, and we are going to come to that, the MCD councillors of the BJP
if they deliver, then...
If they deliver, they've got to build a Delhi model. Mani, I'm coming back to you. Let me take a break. I will come back to you. This is an interesting point about over-promising. You won elections. I want to come to how much do over-promises or promises work in an election. Just a quick point as we head into the break. 3 interesting results to look at the moment. Alka Lamba shifted from the Congress to the Aam Admi Party, leading in Chandni Chowk. Remember, this is a constituency where the Muslim vote, the Shahi Imam's vote would have played a role. The fact is, the Shahi Imam himself has been virtually rejected by the Muslim community. It would appear they've gone, in a sense, with the Aam Admi Party, not because of the Shahi Imam, but perhaps because the Aam Admi Party was seen as an alternative to the Congress Party. In Dwarka, Adarsh Shastri, great-grandson or grandson of Lal Bahadur Shastri, is leading. He was someone who was working in the private sector, has helped in the Delhi dialogue. He is leading at the moment. Saurabh Bhardwaj leading in my constituency there of Greater Kailash at the moment. But some interesting things. Karan Singh Tanwar is leading now the BJP in Delhi cantonment. So the BJP is doing well in certain pockets of Delhi, but across Delhi the big story at the moment is the Aam Admi Party story, and the clear indication that we are getting as we look at these results, including, I can tell you that Kiran Bedi, who's now facing a tough fight in Krishna Nagar, she was trailing when I last heard. It is a tough fight. Aam Admi Party's S.K. Bagga, advocate, could well turn out to be the giant killer of today. He is leading over Kiran Bedi. As Meera Sanyal smiles as I put out those results.